At the beginning of a new semester, I think it's important to take the opportunity to take a moment and ask ourselves, where are we? Where do we want to be? And how will we get there? Now, in the Strategic Booster Academy online course, we take a deep dive into that entire reflect, imagine, and strategize framework. But our brief time together for our Tea with Dr. V, we want to focus on something that might be create a quick win for you in your active practice. My quick win for today deals with three things that I've often found to dramatically accelerate program growth. You know, education is filled with acronyms, right? So I always struggle with my self-esteem, so I decided I'd give this idea its own acronym. I call it the NNIT rule. NNIT. My wife always says it's way cooler if you say something really fast and confident with an inflection, as though everybody in the room knows what you're talking about. So yeah, NNIT. So what does that mean? New skills, new language, intentional follow-up, and transformed community. NNIT. Do you want to transform some element of your program or booster club? The new year or semester is a perfect time to take action. So let's enjoy a cup of tea and jump in. First, new skills for emotionally healthy leaders. Find new ways to offer opportunities for students and adults to have a voice and share their thoughts in a safe way. Two apps I've found really helpful are Padlet and Stormboards. New language. For emotionally healthy leaders, it's a wonderful resource. Pathways for Success by Dr. Tim Lotzenheiser and Scott Rush. Maybe you're familiar with it. They list 15 powerful statements for leaders. One that resonates with our topic today is one that I've heard echoed throughout my entire life since I was a little boy. It's the one that says, it's always better to be kind than right. You know, in music programs, that can be kind of difficult because we work in a people-oriented business where peers interact with each other constantly, whether it's teenagers or adults. And our communications typically evolve around some kind of critique and analysis on a multitude of topics. You know, I believe my students, for the most part, are bright, committed students who want to do the right thing. They just need more information and how to do what they do. As a music teacher, I'm constantly assessing and fix this, fix that, do this, do this. It's easy to get into a pattern of kind of a verbal tick system, and we don't even realize it, right? So by the time we end up at the end of a rehearsal, we spend a large amount of our time in negative verbiage without really even realizing it, you know? And we haven't given them anything about how to do it or correct it and giving them some helpful information and how to do things differently. Whenever two people communicate with each other, there's always the opportunity for misunderstanding or hurt feelings. I discovered two simple tools or models that can greatly help us have mature, healthy, well-run classrooms and booster club meetings. And Peter Scazzero's book, The Emotionally Healthy Leader. He notes, using the phrase, "I'm puzzled," in challenging situations to circumvent misunderstandings. Being puzzled enables us to avoid assumptions or any negative interpretations. For instance, if a special projects team member has a history of making purchases without advanced approval, and instead of maybe saying, "You've got to let us know before you make that purchase next time," maybe you could say, "You know, I'm puzzled about why you didn't get prior approval before buying that purchase." Or if a team member is constantly late in submitting key information for your weekly email blast, or a student is not turning in homework in time, instead of saying, "You've got to get your stuff turned in," you might counter it with, "You know, I'm puzzled why you're having challenges meeting the Monday at noon deadline for our email blast," or why you're having challenges getting your videotape assignment submitted on time each week. Scazzero says, those kinds of statements allow us a chance to pause before we rush to judgment. And when making a complaint about something in the organization or how things are running in a rehearsal, he advises when someone has a complaint, it's always best to be followed by a recommendation. The concern begins with the words, "I notice," and the recommendation is launched with the phrase, "I prefer." So the plan is, I notice, and then I prefer. For example, a team member sends another team member the names of the participants in the fruit sale 1 hour before the unloading of the fruit truck, causing a lot of uneasiness for the other committee members. You could encourage this type of language. "I noticed that you sent me the names 1 hour before the truck arrived. I really appreciate that. I'd prefer in the future if you could send me those a day ahead so that I can prepare the list in an Excel document and share that with our team." Or if a key team member is always late to the project team booster meeting, or students are late to sectionals, that's kind of wasting precious time. You could say, "I noticed you're arriving late for our meetings. I'd prefer that you let us know. Just send me a quick text or email so we can rearrange our agenda so we don't waste time with everybody else who's able to be here." I found that this strategy works well with our students in rehearsal too. I've noticed Measure 24 that the notes seemed a little crushed together. I prefer that you play all those 4/16 notes evenly so that we can all arrive on beat 3 precisely at the same time. Scazzaro also states, it's a simple phrase, but saying "I notice" and "I prefer" helps our teams relate differently. That little phrase allows us to be more kind and more effective. When there's people involved, there's going to be annoyances and irritations. But these two tools, "I notice" and "I prefer," as well as the "I'm puzzled," can help you create a positive organizational help by providing leadership with a gentle accountability and kindness. So how do we do with our NNIT rule? Let's see. New skills. We can explore some new apps to help give our students and parents voice and choice in a safe way. Number 2, new language. "I'm puzzled," "I notice," "I prefer." Moreover, if we want to make sure that our team is more open to our kind redirection, we should begin with acknowledging efforts that we appreciate and offer praise. And praise is free. It doesn't cost a thing. Then implement our "I notice" and "I prefer" strategies. And to be an emotionally healthy leader, you're going to be intentional in offering feedback either in the moment or post-event that always includes a recommendation or solution. It's really true. We can transform our community through our communication as we build strong relationships. If you liked today's Tea with Dr. V, be sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button to be sure you catch each new episode. And don't forget, check out the description notes to this video to get your free download gift. It's my way of saying thanks for spending time with Tea with Dr. V. Until next time, stay safe and keep it upbeat.